Hi, I'm Mark Green with the Oklahoman in Washington. New Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell stepped in at big time last week with a proclamation declaring April as Confederate History Month in the Old Dominion. The Republican said he wanted to honor soldiers' sacrifices on Virginia soil and to get people thinking about the Civil War as the 150th battle anniversaries roll around next year. One big problem: McDonnell's statement didn't mention slavery at all. Critics pounced, calling McDonnell insensitive and worse. Newsweek's John Meacham was nearly hysterical, accusing McDonnell and those around him of trying to rehabilitate the Southern Rebellion. Writing in the New York Times, Meacham said that whitewashing the Civil War is a way for people on the political right to show their unease with President Obama, disguising hate as heritage. McDonnell apologized and issued a revised proclamation that noted slavery's ills, but the episode is bound to leave a mark. Fellow Governor Haley Barbour of Mississippi said it was a lot to do about nothing and noted that Democratic legislatures in his state routinely marked Confederate history. Yet the subject isn't nothing. Sure, if McDonnell was a Democrat, the outcry might have been less, but the issue of the Confederacy and slavery 150 years later still elevates blood pressures. Some say there's no way to honor or mark the valor of Southern soldiers because the greater cause, slavery, is so repugnant. They say the notion of a Confederate History Month is racist, that there isn't any other explanation for it. I think that's going too far. I doubt Governor McDonnell is a racist. He shouldn't have let a proclamation get out that didn't clearly denounce slavery, but I don't think he was sending a veiled message to white supremacists or President Obama either. The episode raises larger questions. Will we ever get over the Civil War? Should we? Is it possible in America in 2010 to acknowledge both the terribleness of slavery and the individual valor of Confederate soldiers? Most didn't own slaves. Though most probably held racist attitudes, so did a lot of people in the North. Remember, President Lincoln didn't make it a war to end slavery until the fighting had gone on for a year and a half. Most Confederates probably fought because their neighbors fought and because they wanted to defend their homes and states from invasion. The question for us today is, what do we do with them? How do we talk about them? Can we acknowledge anything good about them? Or do we go to every county seat in Virginia and other southern states and pull down the monuments to the Confederate dead? Do we start renaming high schools? Maybe we should close up Mount Vernon, whose beauty was created and maintained by George Washington's slaves. Same for Jefferson's Monticello. I don't think so. These men were flawed, living in and perpetuating a flawed, deeply inhuman system. Yet history is about distinguishing between the good and the bad, whether you're talking about presidents or common soldiers, men disabused of the grander, prettier reasons for going to war, whose main motivation was to live long enough to see home again.